Hello everyone, so today I'm going to show you how I stamp the cat stamps with the plants and with a tile floor. So it's just some masking techniques I'm going to show you today. Okay, so let's get started. So I've made some masks with these cat stamps by just stamping on some cheap copy paper. So I've stamped on the copy paper and just cut them out. So that's the first thing to do, is to make some masks of all the stamps that you want to use. And you can also use these masks to do a bit of a composition, to sort of have a play around with composition, which is quite useful. So I'm going to put these like roughly where I'm going to stamp them. We're going to have the tabby cat over here, and some stretching cats. Maybe have those like that or something. It would be quite a large card, this, but I thought I'd do quite a big one just to use quite a few of the designs. So what I'm doing is so the plants are going to be tucked behind the cats a bit, and I'm using these masking techniques to do it. And we have this one over here, and maybe that one, or then there might be some hanging down as well. And then I'm going to have a tiled floor as well. Okay, so first thing I'm going to stamp is the cats, because they're the most foreground thing. Leave those up there for a minute. I'm going to be stamping the cats in charcoal ink pad. So I'm just going to grab the charcoal. Charcoal ink pad. Okay, and the other thing that's quite useful is I'm going to give myself a guideline for where I'm going to stamp the tiles, so I can have a straight line that I work up against. Just going to draw a line with a pencil. There you go. So that's where the tiles are going. Right, let's get started on the cats. I'm keeping it quite simple with the cats, and I'm just going to stamp them in with a charcoal ink pad. And you can add a bit more colour afterwards with some pencil crayons or some pens if you want to. Tabby cat, and then I'm going to cover him over . Stretching cat. Doing a bit of polar blue on the stretching cat. And maybe a little bit of charcoal as well. Go. Stretching cat. And black and white cat. Cover him up. The little black cat. There, so I've covered them all up again with their masks, which just have a little bit of masking tape on the back, bent back on itself to make it stick. And so the next thing to stamp is the pot plants, and then once we've stamped them, we'll mask them as well. So the pot plants, I'm using Atlantic Blue for the pot, this one. I'm putting a little bit of, giving it a bit of tone with indigo on the side. Bit of indigo. Could do a tiny bit of charcoal on the edge for a bit of extra shadow. And then wipe off any blue on the leaves, and then I think we're going to do some evergreen and some, so this is Green Oasis. I might add in a little bit of evergreen as well. Lovely rich dark greens for the money plant. Okay, and then I think the money plant we were going to stamp over here. So the cat underneath is masked. Okay, and then we can mask the money plant. You might want to give it a little bit of time to dry, but I'm just trying to whiz through this video. And next I think we're going to do the Rick Rack Cactus, I think there's this one called. This one we're going to do it in green tea, and the pot I was going to do using Summertime Versafine Clair. So we've got Summertime Versafine Clair. I'm going to do the pot first. And then we'll do green tea. I've got lots of different shades of green I'm playing around with here. These are all the plants that I've got in my kitchen, which I've been, I did the drawings from my plants in the kitchen for most of, I think for all of these. Okay. So this one I'm going to do hanging in the middle. So can just be in the middle here. Okay. And over here I'm going to do my favourite Monstera plant. I've got an enormous one of these in my kitchen. Seems to be taking over. So Atlantic Blue, a little bit of indigo, tiny bit of charcoal, and then clean off any little extra bits. And then I think I'm going to go for the lovely bright green Oasis VersaFine Claire. I might add a little bit of tone with maybe a little bit of this creeping in a few places. And if you want to add any shady bits, you can add in a bit over the top with some there you go. Adding a little bit of shade, light and shade to that. And then this one I was going to do just sat behind this cat, which has the mask on it, like that. There we go. And now we need to do one behind this one. So we're going to do the little cactus. I think that's the best one to fit there. I just need that little cactus stamp, and we'll be ready. So I think I'm going to do this one in sage green. And cyan, a bit of a brighter blue on this one for a change. Put a bit of Atlantic on for a bit of shade. A little bit of indigo and a bit of green tea to add a little bit of variety in the colour. That, a bit of green tea, maybe a tiny bit of darker green at the edge. Now I'm going to stamp him just behind there. Okay, so we've got the little cactus in there now. So now we're going to make sure all the plants are masked. So here's the mask for this one. That one's not going to need a mask because it's above the line of the tiles. This one needs its mask. And then we're ready to stamp the floor, and then we'll be done. So the floor we're going to stamp with this tile stamp, which has quite fine detail, but because we're using VersaFine Claire, the detail's going to come out beautifully, you'll see. Okay. Make sure we've got plenty of ink. And then I'm going to try and line this up with the line. Okay. I'm just peeping underneath the stamp block to try and see where the edge of that stamp is, because I know it's never completely easy to line these things up when you're using a wooden mounted stamp. But I find the only way really is to just peep underneath the block a little bit so you can see where the edge of the stamp is. But it's not an exact science by any means. It's nice being able to layer different designs, I think, with the stamps without having to cut out and collage, because the other way obviously is just to make a collage of them. But if you want to make it all on one piece of paper like this, then the masking technique is a really good way to go. You do need to press fairly hard, otherwise you'll get a big white kind of halo. You get a little bit of one anyway. I've managed to stick to my line fairly well. There we go. That's one row done. And then I'll do another row and then I'll be all finished. So a little bit more challenging with the second row because we're lining up the side and the top. Oh, that's come off. Stick him back down again. So let me know how you get on in the comments. I know a few of you have been asking me to do this cat video. Oh, he's come off again. A little bit more tape underneath. So yeah, if there's any stamping techniques you'd like some help with, then I can make some videos. We're going a bit wonky now, I think. Nearly there. There we go. One more row, and then I'll be done. I could have squeezed them into one row, 2 rows, couldn't I, if I was careful. But I haven't quite managed. Okay, nearly there. So it's quite a lot of tile stamping. Okay, 2 more to go. And one more. There we go. So now just take all the masks off and you'll see we have the cats with the plants and the tile floor. There. There you have it. There's my cat stamps with the plants and the tile floor. So I hope you'll have a try at that and let me know how you get on. Okay, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and ask me any questions. Thanks, bye bye.